في المملكة المتحدة. ووسط هذا الجمال الساحر للطبيعة هناك مكان رهيب كان شاهدا على مرحلة تاريخية. هنا يجتمع تناقض يندر نظيره، حيث يلتقي محبو سحر الطبيعة والرعب في مكان واحد. تحوم داخله أرواح من أعدموا في الماضي، وحكايات مخيفة ما زالت تتأرجح في المكان لشخصيات لفظت أنفاسها الأخيرة على حبل المشنقة.
But I always say you're never alone at the Skerrid Inn.
هي حانة ونزل سكيرد إن الأقدم في ويلز، مكان تسكنه حتى اليوم حكايا الرعب والموت والتمرد. تقول الحكاية إن النزل تحول إلى نقطة لحشد أنصار الثورة الويلزية بقيادة أوين غليندر ضد الملك هنري الرابع، بعد أن كان منتجعا ومقر استجمام لكثير من الملوك. لكن سكيرد إن لم يكتسب شهرته من هذا، بل لكثرة ما شهد حوادث إعدام.
And we're outside the Skerrid Inn, which is apparently the oldest pub in Wales and the most haunted.
I worked at the Skerrid for possibly 26, 27 years, I'm not quite sure now. I was landlord here at one time. I do a bit of cleaning now, a bit of maintenance, not a lot. But pub dates back to 1110. Allegedly there have been 181 hangings in the stairwell, which is just behind the bar there. I've had a few experiences of ghostly shadows going through here, and met people in corridors, which they died the next day or that evening. It's been a really weird place to work, but a lovely place. It's a lovely atmosphere. There's nothing malicious here, and you never feel scared at Skerrid Inn.
I've been here for a meal with a friend, and we've had cold shivers go down our backs. The fireplace, coal is actually chucked from the ceiling down, the chimney down. It's fabulous. So, and there's a lot of visitors that come here especially to see this place.
Oh, people love to come to Skerrid Inn and do ghost hunts. I met a lady in the corridor one night 2 years ago, and she asked me for directions, and I walked back to the bar and I said, look, where did that lady come from? But there was no lady there. And that lady died on that evening at 9 o'clock, and I met her at 5 past. And I've got goose pimples now just telling people about that. And you just hear noises, creaks. There's all kinds of things happen that you never know, because the unexpected is always unexpected.
This is our 7th time we've come here to the Skerrid Inn. We came here initially, coming ghost hunting, like people do. All of a sudden we felt a presence. We looked round, this is downstairs, not in this room, but downstairs in the bar area.
By the fireplace.
Yeah.
So we were sat by the fireplace on our own.
We looked up into the bar area, and I swear to God, We saw what we thought was a member of staff coming in at the corner of our eye. We both saw it exactly the same time. And we saw a man walk in. We were both kind of aghast because we knew we were on our own here at the time. And we saw someone walking clear as day, didn't we?
Just walk round the bar.
Honest to God. And it was a solid mass. It wasn't like a shimmering kind of like, you know, entity or anything like that. It was like a solid mass of a person. And we saw them walk in, wasn't it, Lil? I'll just demonstrate. Literally walk in like this, like clear as day, and then walk around the bar area. It lasted about 3 or 4 seconds, at which point we both saw it, both like, oh my God, because we knew no one else was in here. It took a while for our brain to catch up. I jumped up and then raced towards them and then realised that actually this person just shimmered away. Literally, that's the only way I could explain it, just shimmered away. Never seen anything like it in our life.
الأحداث المرعبة التي وقعت في سكيرد والحكايات التي نسجت حولها على مر عشرات السنين حولت المكان إلى خليط بين الواقع والخيال، حتى صار أشبه بأسطورة يعززها قدم المكان وموقعه، فأي صوت أو ظل طبيعيان في المكان يأخذان دلالات أبعد من الحقيقة. فحتى اليوم لم يثبت العلم وجود أشباح تسكن مكانا ما، أو أن أرواحا تسير عبر الجدران وتصرخ من تحت الأرض، كما يؤكد العالم والباحث البريطاني كريس فرانش. إلا أن البشر قد يميلون إلى الروايات الأسطورية لما تحمله من تشويق وغموض، وإن كانت بعيدة كل البعد عن الحقيقة والواقع.
And also when this used to be a courtroom, and upstairs is where the judge used to be, and everybody that was being placed in front of the judge for any reason.
Yes, some people say they've experienced Judge Jeffreys here, but Judge Jeffreys, he was known as the bloody assizes judge. He came down from London to try people for sheep stealing, which was the main crime around here. But I suppose when they did it, if you had like 6 or 7 sheep, that was your living for the year. And he ended up in the Tower of London, and he was hanging in the Tower of London, I understand.
Well, I can't tell you much more than he was a sort of hanging judge. He was well known for, you know, everybody that came up before him for sheep stealing or stealing anything, he would just hang them. He was known as the hanging judge. But of course we're talking about hundreds of years ago when times were a lot different.
This is the actual rope that was used in when they were Judge Jeffreys or any of those were actually hanging. The courtroom, it was upstairs, and basically they came down and hung them from here. This is the actual door that they used to go in before waiting to go in to be to the judge and sentenced, whatever. And if we go up the stairs now into room 1, this is basically where the chambers were in which they were presented. The bathroom, which is behind this door now, you can enter from the ensuite. This is the actual room in which they would be held until they were called to go to Judge Jeffreys or any other judge that was on duty that day. But this is the actual entrance in which they would have to go through before being sentenced. I don't know I think he was trying to reenact Judge Jeffreys, I'm not too sure, but especially when it's at night time, that's very scary.
Well, Judge Jeffreys, in whatever period of time it was, hundreds of years ago, hung people there. And that they've got marks on the beams there where the hangman's noose hung from. and where they hung people, and it is also supposed to be the most haunted pub in Wales, as well as the oldest pub in Wales.
And this rope here, where it's tied at the top, I believe it would be turned around until the person was the rope was put round the neck, and then it would be let go right down to the bottom. But what we've found is that we'd just come onto the landing and the rope would just be swaying to and fro. But there was no windows open, nothing that would create a breeze in order for this to move. And it was absolutely, it was swaying. That bit was spooky because nobody could actually get to it to move it. So it was definitely somebody playing games with us on that part. It's nerve-wracking, but you're excited.
In a very beautiful area, and we've got many very interesting tourist attractions for people to see in this area. And as you can see from behind me, we have the Skeird mountain immediately behind me, which is one of the well-known landmarks, if you like, of the area. Another very interesting thing that's gone on in this area recently is something called Stump Up for Trees. As you can see from there, this is a picture of the mountain, which is just over the way there, where they planted about 120,000 trees. This is to offset carbon emissions, etc., and it hopefully will help the world for the next 20 or 30 years, providing the trees grow as we hope they will.
No, that's not it. It just goes cuckoo, cuckoo. And not many people hear the cuckoo anymore. No, so when anybody comes, I keep saying, please listen out for the cuckoo. But in June, it flies away. And it comes in April. Welsh dresses are found in were found in most Welsh farmhouses. So that's the history, really.
Well, the work is mostly agriculture and the tourist industry. We are just off the main industrial area of the South Wales valleys, and a lot of the people who actually live in Abergavenny work in the industrial area of Cardiff, Newport, and anywhere south of Abergavenny. The hospitals are also big employers, but agriculture would be the biggest industry, certainly.
This is Llanfihangel Crewcorny in southeast Wales, close to Abergavenny on the Welsh borders. This is Llanfihangel churchyard, and there's the Holy Mountain, the famous Skeird Inn. This one over here is the Gare. That's the Gare, it's an old Roman fort. A little tip over there, used to be a Roman fort many years ago, thousands of years ago.
I am. I live in Pandy. I've been here about 10 years. The Skeerd's my local it is. I always have a few beers in there. And some bloke told me up the road there was like a ghost in the bar, but to be fair, I've never heard of nothing myself. The bloke, he works in the kitchen and he said he seen something on camera, so he went up into the bar and there was no one there. And he thought, oh, there's some girl about here, like, so it must have been a ghost, he reckons, but I've never seen nothing myself. I've never seen one, so I don't believe in them, but maybe spirits and that, maybe.
You can sense, if you go out the back way, somebody looking out of the windows. It's, especially when it starts getting dark. A lot of it seems to happen in the evenings and obviously the night times. These are actually when you hear footsteps, these are actually the stairs in which you were hearing the steps. And we got proper footsteps going down the stairs. And we would all look at each other thinking, well, there's nobody moving, and there was no explanation for it apart from the activity here. And you can talk to them. They obviously don't talk back to you, but you've got a different sense that the atmosphere changes.
I think if something wants to be seen, it'll be seen.
Yeah.
It's going to be really exciting. Okay. And it did happen that way.
Yeah, we'll just see.
Yeah, we'll just see what goes on.
We'll just sit down there quietly, have a drink, just have a chat.
And just see
if anything happens.
Yeah, literally just go with the flow.
The landlady that walks around here is called Fanny Price. And she had 2 children who unfortunately passed away when they were under the age of 10. I've done a night of ghost haunting here. We did a séance, and her son Jack came through because he was only 5 years old when he passed. And basically he couldn't spell his name, but we kept asking questions, but he knew he was 5. But he would play games with little toys that we placed around the room.
Her name was Fanny Price, and she was the landlady of the pub. Yeah, well, everybody knows about it. It's quite famous. It's a famous story. Fanny Price roams the area, and I've never seen her, but I have smelt the lavender, the smell of the lavender plant. So, and she's also known as the White Lady, so that's all I know.
Fanny Price is always here, whether she's upstairs in the building or down in the bar or in the restaurant. The staff that work here often smell the lavender, which is her perfume, but it's they don't feel threatened or anything. It's a relaxing atmosphere, and they just have a giggle. The tabletop because she liked dancing, she was dancing with us, and the table was going round and round with our fingertips on. Fanny is with us all the time, and her grave and her children's grave are in the graveyards 100 yards away. So, and say we've seen them, which is, it's not lovely, but you know, it's reassuring that she's still in the village.
We've always been into the paranormal, always loved being scared, like chronic. Always been the kind of people to creep around graveyards at night when we're about 11 years of age and that kind of thing and scare ourselves senseless. And we like going places where it's just us, isn't it, on our own, not with like big groups or anything like that. We'll kind of like Google where it's like, you know, haunted, creepy, where it's got a bit of a history of anything paranormal, any manifestations of anything. And we'll go ourselves on our own and go and explore that and just do it ourselves, won't we? Which is why having the chance tonight to be here yet again on our own is absolutely phenomenal. Because like we don't want big groups, we don't all that. We want to be scared senseless on our own or not, you know, whatever the case may be. And it's great, it's just super exciting, isn't it? Yeah. We love it. That's what it's all about for us, just get the adrenaline going.
If you're actually sat in the garden out the back there, come the evenings, then you can actually see somebody looking out the window here. Or if you go up to the next level, there's a smaller window and you can see, you know, not every night, but some nights.
Well, it obviously brings trade to the area in the sense that, you know, people want to come to the area to go to the Skerrit to, first of all, experience the ambience of the place, because of course it is the oldest pub in Wales and it has a certain ambience, if you like, and then you've got the ghost stories as well, which adds to the romance of it, I suppose.
I don't know what to say really, but it's definitely a fantastic place, full of history. It's just an amazing and a great opportunity.
Love the hospitality, love the area, love the people. It's a nice way, isn't it, to spend some time. Don't cost much, but like it can really give you the thrill of your lifetime, isn't it? Yeah. It really is.
It's a fantastic local pub, and it's also a great tourist attraction because it's the oldest inn in Wales. So come and enjoy yourself. Come and see if you experience any ghostly apparitions or enjoy a lovely meal.
It was just a old haunted pub, really. I've never experienced the haunting, but then perhaps I'm not a believer.